Hi, this is Kelly. Welcome to my channel and welcome back to my dark gingerbread series. I have some beautiful gingerbread ornaments today. DIY number 1, spiced orbs. And I have 2 of these shatterproof plastic ornaments from Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to give them a nice coat of black chalk paint. And we're going to put that aside to dry. So once that's dry, I'm going to put my second coat on, and I'm going to work rather quickly because I want it to stay wet long enough to douse it in some cinnamon. I get that covered really well. And some people like to kind of press that into it, but you really don't have to, and I'm just gently tapping, not too hard. You don't want to knock it all off. And have it on some kind of stick. You can put it in something to dry thoroughly. Now this is a metallic folk art I got at Hobby Lobby. I'll check the color in a second, but I'm just painting the little tops where the hangers go. That paint is called Black Flash, and it's the color shift. In different directions you see black, and the other direction you see gold. So I'm just taking a brush and gently brushing away the excess cinnamon, and I'm going to take that same Black Flash metallic, and I've got this sponge and I start dabbing it on over top of that cinnamon, and it was coming out a little too light, but it kind of sealed the cinnamon down pretty well. So now I'm using a little more paint, put it on a little heavier, and then I take a brush and dab so that there's heavier spots of that metallic here and there. And then up in that ridge where the neck is, the base of the neck, I had to get in there. The sponge wasn't reaching in there. And you see my paper towel, it's not exactly dry brush, it's just keeping it from getting way too much. And there we go. And you just keep working it till you get the look that you want. And I did 2 the same way. And on one of them, I'm just going to tie this burgundy velvet ribbon. I tied it to the hoop on the little hanger piece. And with this, it's an inch wide, and you kind of have to go back and forth and adjust it, pull it out, tighten it again, back and forth. But it's just a basic, like, tie your shoelaces kind of bow. And I'm trying to flip that piece over so you see the velvet instead of the backing, and it didn't quite flip all the way over, so I'm going to take one of the tails across the front and hide that piece. Very pretty. Just a tiny spot of glue to hold that piece in place in the front there. Trim it up, and this one's done. So pretty. Now this one I've got some black chiffon ribbon, and I'm going to loop it through, or pull it through the loop, whatever you want to pull it through that ring, and I'm going to add a smaller piece for kind of some extra tails. And later I end up putting a second piece on the back side just to have a little ribbon hanging down. And I tie it to the loop, and then I just kind of leave a space between the top of the ornament and where my bow is, and just tie a bow. And again, you kind of have to keep adjusting it and tightening it, and pull the tails out and pull the loops again back and forth a few times to get it. Now this kind of had a little too much ribbon when I went to hang it on the tree. It was a little rough, but you could use any kind of ribbon you want, or none at all. Just put a hook on it. They're beautiful like they are. And we put a piece, and I already put the piece on the back there too. Anyway, they're very pretty. And this one's done. You see that loop I left in there? You can just hang it right on the branch. DIY number 2, gingerbread cookie globe. Now these little fake mints, this came from Hobby Lobby, and see the ball up top there with the rest of them inside. and that was 50% off. I only paid a couple bucks for it, but it's a shatterproof plastic ball, just like you'd get at the dollar store as well. But I wanted those little mints, and I put my painter's tape on backwards and pasted them on there and spray painted them all black. So now I've got this crochet lace ribbon, and I taped it to the bottom to hold it in place while I glued it, and there's a seam all the way around that ball, so that's where I'm gluing this first strip of ribbon over top that seam to hide it. Now these are see-through ornaments, but it's distorted enough where you can't see the hot glue looking at it from the outside. And I just keep on coming along that seam and glue that down. And once that's in place, I can remove the tape and glue the remainder of the ribbon down. Thank you guys for being here with me today. I hope you are enjoying this video. This is not so gothic, they're just pretty. I've really been enjoying the gingerbread and the cinnamon, and they smell so good. But yeah, I really appreciate your all support. My channel, it's not growing as fast as it was, but it's still growing, and that's thanks to you guys. With all your comments and sharing, I really appreciate it. So now I've got another piece, and I'm just doing that on the opposite side in the same way. There's no seam to go by, but using the tape I managed to get it on there straight. Now these are little stickers from Dollar Tree, these snowflakes, and the first thing I'm going to do is paint the back of them black. Yeah, that gets rid of the stickiness, but they're going to need glue anyway. You can't trust those stickers to stay put. So once it's dry on the back, I'm going to dab black chalk paint on the front and douse that with cinnamon while it's still wet. And I do 6 of these. I do 3 of the bigger ones and 3 of the smaller ones. It's sticking to my sponge dabber there. You get some paint on there, some cinnamon. And really, you just leave it sit for a couple hours to be safe. It doesn't take long to dry. So now I'm going to use my Aleene's tacky glue to attach these, because I had the back of these had to look nice, because you are going to, even though it's a little distorted, you don't see the hot glue so much. I figured the Aleene's was the way to go, and it turned out, it worked out very well. Because you're going to see the back sides of these snowflakes looking through it. And I'm just going to randomly place, I had a hot glue boo-boo where it smeared, and you can use these to cover that up if that happens. But I did discover that Goo Gone will remove smeared hot glue off of plastic, but then you want to clean it with alcohol afterwards, get that oily residue off. So yeah, I'm just going to keep gluing these little gingerbread snowflakes here and there, and make sure they're pressed in place very well. So we put that aside to dry. Now here's my little cookies, or my mints that are going to be cookies. And I had ended up with so much spray paint on them because it was hard to get the edges, the sides of them. So I had to hit them several times, and they just wouldn't dry. So they were still tacky, so I said, well, let's roll a couple in the cinnamon and see what happens. It stuck to it without a problem. So here I'm just going to roll the sides in it and press it down. And you see them there, and it's working beautifully. So then after they dry for a while, I'm going to do the same with the snowflakes, and dab the black paint just on the other side, on the top, and hit that with cinnamon. And they worked out very nicely. Now you're going to want to seal these, because you don't want all that cinnamon shaking around inside your ornament, because that'd just make a mess. And you can use any kind of clear, just use a matte flat finish, and make sure you seal those. I also did the snowflakes after I put the cinnamon on there, and that will seal the cinnamon in place. And I just put them back in the ornament and put my little cap on. This one is just so cute, and it's got the little gingerbread cookies inside. I just love it. Too cute. And I'm going to take some really skinny black crochet ribbon and add a little bow. And I just tie a little bow to the loop and then put a hanger behind the ribbon, and it's just, this one's my favorite out of all of these. It's so cute. And again, you have to adjust and go back and forth till you get your bow how you want it. And this one's all done. DIY number 3, dark velvet gingerbread deer. Now this came from Dollar General, and it's got this really red velvet coating on it, which I didn't care for, but the deer itself, the shape is just really beautiful. And I bought a few of these because they also stand up. I've got plans for a shadow box with one of these deer. And I'm just going to take my black paint and put a heavy coat, cover up that red, and it gives it a nice texture underneath that paint. Then I'm going to go over it once it's dry with my Folk Art cinnamon. And I started to paint the antlers with the cinnamon. I thought, wait a minute, I don't want to do that. So I went back and repainted black where I had painted it cinnamon. So now once that first coat is dry, we are going to put black flocking on the antlers. And I just do one antler at a time. And you want to work kind of quickly if you can. Just be careful not to get your paint all over the place. And then hit it with that black flocking. Just tap it on there slowly, because this stuff does make a mess. Make sure you have something underneath to catch it so you can put it back in the container. And we're just doing the other antler. Same thing. As you can see, I already put the flocking back in the container before I did the second antler. And gently tap off the excess. And there we have it. So pretty. And we put that aside, let that dry for a couple hours. And I've got this little plaid scarf. I got these from Amazon as little scarves and hats. They're so cute. And I'm just going to take a needle and thread. And now you can just use your hot glue to do this. You don't even have to. I'm going to put these little tiny jingle bells on here. And you can just glue down the seams and create a scarf. But I just kind of folded the end into a point. And I've just got some black thread, and I'm just going to loop the thread around a few times to hold that down in place. And you can get fab. You can use a piece of ribbon where you don't have to do all this. You could do it however you like. And I'm going to pick up this little jingle bell. I got these from Dollar General, a little bag of different sized jingle bells, and hoop the thread through that and pull it onto the tip. Run the needle and thread through that loop and into the fabric a couple more times, and that's about it. So here I'm just figuring out where I want to cut it, because this is going to be his little scarf. And I basically cut it about in half. And I do the same thing with the other side with the needle and thread and the jingle bell. So now with the other piece, I just took my hot glue and I'm folding up, trying not to glue it to myself and burn myself here, and just folding over a nice seam. Cut off the other cotton ball there. Pom-pom, whatever you want to call it. And this is going to be kind of like a saddle piece, if you will. And I'm going to glue this to his back right behind the little loop that's there for your hanger. A little bit of hot glue here and there. Glue that in place. Same thing on the back here. And again, just, some pretty ribbon is all you need. You don't have to go through all this sewing and jingle bells and all that. But so now you see I've got the jingle bell on the other tip of my scarf, and we're just going to hot glue the scarf in place. I love the look of that flocking. And then there's enough texture from the velvet underneath all that paint on this body that he actually looks kind of furry, I guess you could say, and also resembling gingerbread, which I just love. So we're just going to crisscross that little scarf. And I've got this really skinny, like 1/2 inch, I guess it is, black velvet ribbon that I'm going to pull through the loop for the hanger. I'm going to line them up back to back so the pretty side is showing, and just tie a knot at the end here. And once I pull it through, I'm just going to cut it at a little slant, trim it up, tighten it a little more, and he is done. He's so cute. And here's my reveal. These are the first items I put on my Christmas tree, and I thought, well, let me go ahead and get the lights on and do my reveal. They're just so pretty. These are so much fun. And my favorite, the gingerbread cookies. Thank you guys again for being here with me today. I hope you are having a wonderful holiday season, and I hope you come back and see me. Don't forget to like and share and all the things. Bye.